Welcome once again to my channel. My name is Oposu Godwin, a marketing professional and a marketing trainer. In today's video, we're going to look at how to make cold calls that convert into qualified leads. As a salesperson or someone selling, cold calls can sometimes be a bit tough because it easily stings rejection, or it can easily lead to rejection. So because of that, a lot of some salespeople and business people skip cold calls because linking up with someone or selling someone you have never met before, you have not booked an appointment with, can also lead to some kind of rejection or can lead to some kind of problems. However, data still shows that since 2025, cold calls still close. In fact, more than 10% of deals when it is done the right way. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through how to go about it to turn cold calls into qualified leads. The first thing you're going to do is to do what we call the pre-call preparation. Research is important. Research fuels good conversation. Don't skip it. It is very important. If you skip it, you're going to waste your time. So it is important to identify the high fit ideal customer profiles, or the ICPs, high fit ideal customer profiles. You can start with what we call the demographics. For example, the company size and industry. Look for the firm's size. For example, let's say 100 to 500, 10, 20, etc. Check technographics too. What tools do they use? This will signal their pain point. What product do they produce? Is it technical? Is it fragile? This will signal their pain point. You can also even look out for recent funding or recent highs. Usually LinkedIn is there. If you go to LinkedIn Sales Navigator, you can filter through this. However, with funding, when you go to Crunchbase, you can find out about funding news. When most companies get funding, you can find it on Crunchbase. Or you can even just go to Google and type the name of the company and type funding and then PDF, right? Some companies publish some of this and then they end up on the internet, right? This will help you narrow your list of prospects, right? It's going to help you narrow your list of prospects, right? It is important, as a matter of fact, to filter out, to find out the right people who will be willing to buy your products, right? Through your research, you can also get information about new products that they have introduced onto the market, and you can congratulate them in connecting with them on the introduction of the new product. There are also even new hires, new employees. This will signal that either the company is expanding or something. Some companies would employ more when it is actually expanding. This is a signal that they have the budget. It is important to also personalize beyond the name of the people within the decision-making unit or anybody within the decision-making unit. No more than their title, just procurement manager or marketing manager or buying manager. Scan LinkedIn profiles to find out more about these people on their current post. It could be they are celebrating their birthday. You could even use that to wish them happy birthday and continue to link up with them. Check the company's news for launches and highs. Did the company just expand their team? This could be a hint that there is, a pain point. Always try to see if you have a shared connection within the organization and try leverage on that shared connection. Right. Personal touches is important as it raises response by 30%, according to sales research. So ensure that you tie your approach to their world. And this shows that you are not just coming to sell, or you're not salesy, but you are someone who cares. Also, in preparing your pitch, your value proposition, always ensure that you build your pitch around features and benefits. Customers don't only buy features, they buy features and benefits, outcomes. So, for example, our services or our tools or our softwares cut down delays by 40%, freeing your team from delays and dissatisfying customers. So you link this to their pain, right? Right. So this is another strategy or another way that you can also do. So you craft your value proposition statement based on benefits and features, and not only features, right? So that is the why now. Section 2, or the next point, is the perfect cold call opening. It is important to seize attention of the prospects in seconds, because first impression decides if they will continue to listen to you. You have just few seconds to grab their attention. Always remember the 10-second rule. You have 10 seconds to grab their attention. In fact, very frail and weak openings lead to quick cuts and discontinuity. So it is important to practice this so you sound natural and not scripted. It is important to master what we call the gatekeeper conversation. The gatekeepers include the secretaries, the receptionist, the personal assistant to the manager or the procurement manager, or anyone who prevents you from reaching out or getting information about the member of the decision-making unit that you want to reach. You see, treat them as allies and not roadblocks. It's always good to research the name of these gatekeepers. So the receptionist, even the security sometimes. In certain companies, maybe you have to go and meet a security man before they direct you to. So the receptionist, the PAs, etc. It is important to personalize, use their names if you have it. So you can research about that on LinkedIn as well. So for example, hi Miriam, this is Godwin from Tech Systems. May I speak with Jonathan in the procurement department or in the marketing department? It is important to be clear about your role. It is important to also drop your company goal briefly when he gives or she gives you the opportunity to reach out to the person that you want to contact, the contact person. Don't be pushy, because if you become pushy, this will just trigger off and backfire. It is always good to earn trust with respect. They can ask you about why or what is the reason that you are calling. You can quickly tell them that, oh, it's a quick chat about, let's say, our software or our procurement, import and export freight services, right? Another thing also you need to look out for is the immediate hook. It is important to ensure that you handle initial objections. That is the not interested response. This very hits fast, and this is what normally discourages lots of salespeople. We are not interested. So first, you can say that a lot of prospects feel the same until they see how our services fit into their business objectives. So with this, if you have researched already, you can just also pivot to the research. For example, you just hired or you just introduced a new product. Our services could be beneficial in helping your new product reach out and meet your objectives. But one thing is, don't argue. Acknowledge them. Acknowledge whatever they say. Another thing to do is to avoid the dreaded, the immediate hook. The immediate hook is very important. Avoid the dreaded. That is what we call, what is this regarding? It is important to always lead a conversation or the approach with value and not your name. So for example, hi Miriam, or hi Jonathan, do you have 1 minute? I call because I notice you have recently launched a new product. This type of permission kind of respects time, and it also reduces the smell of sales, right? It reduces the smell of sales. Well, a lot of people hate sales because they are hit by a lot of salespeople, from emails to phone calls to face-to-face meetings, etc. So it is important, as a matter of fact, to use this type of permission, which then dispels the smell of sales. In fact, permission also opens up work by 50% than standard intros, right? So it is important to look at it. Make sure you follow your tailored prop. Keep your energy high and smile through the phone conversation. It's also important to also have the ability to handle initial objections. That is, we are not interested response or not interested response. This hits fast and can affect your motivation. So you pause first. The moment they tell you not interested, you pause first and then you just tell them, please, I get that. Many people feel the same until they see how our services fits into their organization and their problems. So with this, you can pivot back to your research. And then if you realize that they had, as a matter of fact, maybe expanded by hiring new staff or introducing a new product or opening new branches, you can hinge on that and ask them how the onboarding is going. But don't argue, acknowledge them. This reopens another door. Well, the third point I'm going to talk about is structured conversation. You need to structure your conversation so you'll be able to discover trust. So shift from being salesy to being someone who is ready to sell. So shift from sell to sell. Build trust by listening than talking. So it's so important to shift from pitching to inquiry. So it is important to shift from pitch to inquiry. So for example, you can ask, so how do you handle your logistics? How do you handle your softwares? This actually goes beyond the script and it gives you the opportunity to learn their world. Don't dump info. Allow them to steer their affairs. All right. It is important to also use open-ended questions, right? Using the BANT framework. Always think about the budget, authority, need, and timeline, right? It is important to do that. You can even ask them about their biggest hurdle. If they are willing, they will tell you, right? Open questions would open up the prospect to talk more, right? It's so important to also have active listening techniques. So be someone with active listening. So have that active listening techniques that drive conversion. So you can even echo their words. So how slow, maybe they told you that the report costs you. So you can even ask them, how slow reports cost you? Right. So these are some of the things that you also need to look at. Now, step 4 is converting the call, securing the next step. This is time for you to close the loop with action. It is important for you to recognize buying signals. So what are some of the buying signals here? How does it integrate, or enthusiasm in voice? Look out for the art of low friction. Look out for the art of low friction. Always make sure your ask is simple. So always connote to the case abbreviation. Keep it short and simple. So for example, you can say this. If I email you a quick summary today, can we chat in 15 minutes, or can we chat about 15 minutes on Tuesday, 10 o'clock? Right. This makes it very low risk. So be specific so that you don't sound vague. Right. This is very important. Right. So this is very important. So as soon as you say this, follow up with the email to, recap the talk. So, for example, we can say, as we discussed, here's how our product can solve your problems. Keep it concise and simple. Personalize it, and always let them know the next step, right? So personalize it and let them know the next step, right? So thank you very much for watching. See you in the next lesson or in the next video.